So the other thing is utilization, and utilization is sort of the elephant in the room, if you like, with regards to data centers today. Most servers are utilized at very low levels. 15% or so is like the industry average, which is terrible.
Of the resources.
Of the resources. And the problem is when you just turn the server on, you're using like 50% of the energy just by turning it on without doing any work. So making sure that you're only using the servers that only got servers on that are actually doing useful work is obviously a very key scenario. So I know that obviously with virtualization plays a strong role.
I wanted to ask you about
virtualization plays a strong role in helping consolidate workloads so that you don't have to have as many servers on.
Yeah.
And sort of going forward, we want to see a scenario where literally we give IT administrators the ability to only have the servers on that are doing useful work and be able to like dynamically power servers off and back on again.
Yeah, and automate that process,
exactly.
Centrally control it.
Yep.
I know a product that can do this.
Yes, I've heard of it.
So it's interesting you bring up virtualization, and I think we're experiencing here in System Center a growing interest in how centrally managed virtualization workloads can be very efficient in intelligent placement and spinning actual hardware chassis up and down based on needs and thresholds being met or exceeded. You also mentioned earlier that you're working with other groups, like you mentioned the Home project. Is that something you could also comment on that's kind of outside into our utility companies?
Yeah, so Home's an interesting technology in that it's really designed explicitly around energy efficiency. The product itself helps drive energy efficiency.
So what is Home?
So Home is a product. It's a free web app to consumers, and customers can sign up to enter the energy data about their homes. So there's a list of like about 200 questions which you can answer as many of those as you have the appetite for.
Okay.
And it will start to give you feedback on where the biggest opportunities are to save energy in your home.
Okay.
And then ultimately the goal is for us to have utility, electrical utilities provide automatic data feeds into Home, and so that we can increase the accuracy of the modeling, so that it can provide you very directed advice based on how you're actually using your energy. So, for instance, we just announced that Seattle City Light is now providing data feeds to home users.
I think that's the first live connection.
Exactly, that's the first live connection.
Yeah.
So basically, you just go in, you enter your zip code, and Seattle City Light will come up as one of the utilities.
I believe that's there was an announcement or a case study put up on the environmental site about that. So we'll put a link up for everybody.
Exactly. But yeah, so it's really cool. So, but the nice thing is, even if you don't have your utility company signed up to provide automatic data feeds, you can still go through the questionnaire, and it will give you, based on how much data you enter, some good advice on where you might be able to save energy, based on how old your home is and what sort of insulation you have, and how much energy you use. So you can basically you can put in as much data as you want, and you'll get a pretty good return on your investment there.
So is it fair to say Home is more of a consumer-based kind of service?
It's totally a consumer-based service right now. It probably makes sense for maybe some small businesses. If you get a energy bill and you want to, if you're running a restaurant or a small office or something like that, you can probably use the same system.
So, understanding that's a very interesting product for or service that I think we'll see a lot of interest in the uptake around the world of. They're just learning more about how power is consumed with technology. Now, when we go and look at maybe the medium or the enterprise, are you seeing a lot of customer interest in achieving centralized power management or taking advantage of things that arrived in Vista and Win 7 on the client and server in the back around how to become more efficient as an IT department? Are you seeing customers ask about that?
Absolutely. It's kind of interesting. When we first shipped Vista, back in 2006, I would say that the attitudes were generally turn off automatic sleep.
Sure. It was an inconvenience.
Exactly. It's like, oh, why don't you turn that on? That's crazy. I want my machines wait. The attitudes have totally changed now, especially in places such as the UK, for instance, where environment and carbon is becoming sort of a very hot topic right now.
It's also expensive.
Exactly. And so, there's an opportunity to save a pretty significant amount of money. At the same time, you're not really impacting your service to your end users just by simply making the machine sleep
We're not-
automatically.
We're not breaking the SLA or the OLA.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. So yeah, so I think the attitudes have shifted quite dramatically in the last few years. And we've got more and more customers sort of reaching out to us and to our partners to say, how can we effectively turn this back on to help reduce our energy bills.
Cool, okay. Well, great. Well, Mark, thank you very much for your time today. Was there anything else you wanted to share with us before we wrapped up?
Well, I mean, I think the
message you want to leave.
the message here is that Microsoft has a set of technologies in Windows and Windows Server that help customers save money.
Yeah.
And I would encourage anyone in the audience to just turn those things on and try them out. I think if you're an application developer, there are a few useful resources that you should be looking at. We can put those up on the website that help make sure that your applications don't undermine what we're doing there. Because the worst thing is, especially, this isn't really just an energy efficiency discussion, this is also a user productivity discussion. If you've ever been on a plane and you have a finite power supply on your battery, nothing's more annoying than finding your battery's gone dead because an application was using up more resources than it should have done.
Right.
Or if you're in a meeting and you don't have your power supply and then you walk away and your machine didn't go to automatic sleep because an application was preventing the machine from automatically sleeping.
Yeah.
So there are a number of really important things that the industry needs to do in order to make sure that users are getting a good experience out of power management.
Great. Well, that's been a great discussion, Mark. Thank you very much. And we'll put some resources up here at the end that between myself and Mark here, we'll share with you about becoming more efficient with things like IT and power management. And thanks for your time today. We'll see you again soon.
Thank you.